You know, I'm wearing my mask to try to educate Americans to wear the mask at all times and stop spreading the virus, since you never know who has it. But this story started before we were wearing masks. So let me get that off. It's hot in there. My story started actually just at the end of the summer in the Czech Republic. I was preparing for a long journey. I had been studying my PhD for 7 years, far too long to be studying anything. And I finally completed it. And I was Dr. Policoff. And Dr. Policoff was going on a long walkabout, a journey to discover himself and the world. I was selling off my personal possessions, and I have a large selection of ukuleles. If you know me at all, you always see me walking around with an ukulele in hand. This is probably one of the rare moments you won't see me with an ukulele. And I had to get rid of this collection because, again, there's something called ukulele acquisition syndrome, where you just keep buying more and more of these funny little instruments. And I had over a dozen of them. And so I started selling my ukuleles on a Facebook page. And I had various people come to pick them up. One particular lady came. She was beautiful. She was funny. She was sweet. And she didn't seem to have that much interest in ukuleles. She came, she barely looked at them. She sat down and we just chatted. And by the time she was finished, several hours had went by, and she said she had to go. It turned out later I found out she had a date. She didn't want to go to the date. She wanted to stay there with me. Well, over the next several weeks, we reconnected and she came to look at ukuleles again. And before I knew it, she was spending every day at my house. She never left. I mean, really never left. She just kind of moved in. And I had some things to take care of, so I was between several apartments. And wherever I slept, that's where she was. It was, wow, it was a whirlwind. I had never expected it. So we decided that she was going to go with me on my trip. And before we knew it, we were pregnant. I don't know why they say we were pregnant, because she's really doing most of the pregnant part. I was really just there for the first part. But anyway, we got pregnant and we were going to ride motorcycle across Europe. But fall came and it started getting really cold. And we decided, pregnant lady, cold, motorcycle, maybe not the best idea. So we're going to go ahead and head to the United States and go to Arizona, where it was warm. And we were going to have our motorcycle ride there and ride all the way down to Mexico, where she had a small cabana. Well, as she got more pregnant, we realized maybe, again, pregnant lady on a motorcycle riding through Mexico, not the best idea. So instead, we renovated a van. Oh gosh, it's beautiful. We put everything into this van. It was an old handicap van. And we put plumbing, we put electricity, solar panels on top, totally self-sufficient. And then the coronavirus hit, and things got worse and worse. And we saw Europe and Italy falling under the virus's spell. And we thought, what do we do now? We could head down to Mexico like we planned, but at the same time, what if we can't get out of Mexico? I could return to the United States, but she was on a tourist visa, so she could not. If we were going to go to Mexico, we were going to stay in Mexico and then try to fly back to Europe to have the baby. Unfortunately, they closed off Spain. And so we realized we can't fly to Europe anymore because our tickets were for Spain. We tried to get out, but then we heard the Czech Republic was closing its borders, except to citizens. I'm not a citizen, but she is. So the Czech Republic was sending a plane. There would be one plane, one singular plane. And this plane was to be all the Czech people that got stuck in the United States, flying from Chicago back to their homelands, where they would be welcomed by family and friends. See, now, we don't have insurance in the United States, so having a baby, well, that's going to cost $20,000 or $30,000. In the Czech Republic, it would be free. She already had her doula picked out, the hospital, all the homeopathic stuff. She's a natural hippie kind of girl, so she wants to do it all natural. So she was pretty nervous about trying to even construct a medical plan in the United States, even if we got insurance. She looked forward to being with her family. They were all knitting clothes, knitting booties, getting everything ready for the baby that we were going to have, again, back in the Czech Republic where we both live. But I couldn't go there. So she had a choice to make, and it was a really difficult one. And I felt responsible for that choice. I mean, what was I to tell her? Stay here with me. It's our family now. And you can rely on me. You can trust me for everything you need. Stay here for who knows how long, maybe years, without seeing your family again. Or to encourage her, to say, you need to be with your family. You need to be in your country. You need to be in a place where you're comfortable. I did a lot of soul searching. There's several nights I just couldn't sleep thinking about it, thinking about these two possibilities, because I believe when you're faced with two roads in this circumstance, it's more than just a decision. I think it's a choice between infinite realities, a metaphysical choice between two different yous. And when you make the choice, you kill off one of those possible lives, one of those possible futures. I don't think I've ever been in such a circumstance, anywhere near it. It is the toughest decision of my life. I mean, do I destroy the life where I watched my baby being born, or I get to hold her or him? We don't know. We want to find out at that moment. Do I get to hold him or her for the first time? Do I get to watch for those first months? Do I get to be with my new child? Or do I tell her to go so she can be safe and she can be with her family and she can feel at ease and comfortable instead of being in a strange land? I realized it wasn't my decision to make, it was hers. And I told her, whatever it is you need to do, I want you to make this decision because this is going to be the most difficult thing in your life, and I just want you to be happy and comfortable and be surrounded by love. And so, well.
And so I decided to stay. In a way, it was really, as he said, very tough decision. And I've decided more like me to become that safe place, and that's me, myself, to be that safe place, and that's where I feel comfortable and where I can provide that feeling for my baby and for my new family.
So we're working together on making masks for Americans, just trying to keep people safe. We're working on a brand new garden. I don't know if I can spin us around, but there's a little bit of our flower garden that we're making, and we're planting herbs today, and we're just preparing the place for our new child.